I'm Trey Guillotine, and I'm talking about Warcraft and whether it's an exception to the rule that all video game movies are bad. Let's geek out. I think Warcraft was the last movie that I was really excited for this summer, and it was also the last movie that I was really nervous about, not just because I'm a big WoW player playing for just about 10 years, but also because the rule of video game movies is that they're bad. And I was worried that this was going to happen to a movie that I was really looking forward to that is about one of my favorite video games. Now, after seeing it twice this weekend, I think Warcraft is the exception to the rule of bad video game movies. I really enjoyed it. Not just as a WoW player and someone who has been following the lore of Warcraft for the past 10 years, but also as just an average movie in its own right. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The movie itself, just looking at it as just a movie without worrying about any of the source material or any of the lore of Warcraft, just looking at it as just a movie standing on its own, I thought it was a lot of fun. The action scenes were great, the CGI and sets looked beautiful, the motion capture of the orcs and the other races I thought was fantastic. You could see, subtle facial expressions and where their eyes were going. It looked really fantastic, and I was really excited about it. The story was simple enough that you could follow it. It wasn't too complicated. It wasn't too confusing. It was just a fun movie-going experience. It wasn't perfect. I did have a few big critiques on it, mostly around the fact that the pacing of the movie was really quick. And because of that, not only was some of the dialogue, it kind of felt a little bit forced sometimes, it also didn't give us the chance to really flesh out the characters or the settings of Azeroth and learn some things that we might really want to know, like what are the politics of Azeroth, what are the situations going on in Stormwind, what are the different relationships of the factions and clans of the orcs that are joining together in the Horde. What are the motivations of each and every character? We didn't really get a lot of that. But even though we didn't get a lot of fleshed out characters or setting, what we did get, they did a really good job of giving us exposition and telling us who we needed to know and what we needed to know. It gave us the information that we needed to understand what is going on in this movie, in this story that they're telling. We didn't need to know about the politics of Stormwind or all the politics of the orcs. We didn't need to know every single character involved. So I really enjoyed it just as a movie. I don't think the quick pacing or the sometimes forced dialogue or the fact that not every little detail was fleshed out in the movie really took anything away from the overall enjoyment of it. It was a lot of fun. And then watching it just as a WoW player who loves the lore and loves the characters and loves the stories and the settings of Warcraft and World of Warcraft and is very interested in it, I loved watching it just because there were so many little things in the background or said or little things, little Easter eggs, little nods to the fandom and to the video games. Also seeing some very specific characters in the background of scenes. There were plenty of named characters, but there was a lot of characters in the lore that were included in this movie that weren't exactly named characters, but if you knew who they were from the game, you could spot them in the background of a lot of scenes. And there were specifically a lot of very specific orcs that were there that I really enjoyed seeing how good they looked and how accurate their portrayal was compared to the video game, and I thought that was great. So just overall, I really enjoyed it. I am definitely relieved that I enjoyed watching Warcraft. I think it was a good movie. I look forward to if they're going to do sequels. Now there is one thing, and it's not something that I personally have a problem with, but there's definitely a large population of WoW players who have an issue with this, and they'll probably have an issue with this in the film. There's a large population of WoW players who they don't like Thrall. A lot of players think he's too overhyped, or he's too powerful, he's too much of a Mary Sue, he's too much of a perfect character, and I disagree with that. I think he's a really strong, really good character, but a lot of them, they call him Green Jesus, which kind of annoys me because looking at the story of Jesus, not as a Christian or an atheist or whatever, looking at the Bible as literature, looking at the story of Jesus, there's little to no parallel of Thrall to Jesus. Now, if you want to keep looking at the Bible as literature and you want to compare Thrall to someone, there there is a lot of parallels between Thrall and Moses. So if you want to be accurate, calling him Green Jesus is just inaccurate. So if you want to be accurate, call him Green Moses. But a lot of players, sorry for the rant, but a lot of players don't like Thrall. They call him Green Jesus, so they're probably going to have an issue with, literally, the movie begins with Thrall and the movie ends with Thrall. And chances are, if and when they make Warcraft 2 into a movie, Thrall's going to be one of the main characters, if not the main character. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of players who are going to have problems with that. I'm not one of them. I wanted to talk about that because it's something that I'm always arguing about, that Thrall is not Green Jesus. He's, if anything, Green Moses. But whatever, thank you for letting me rant. I really enjoyed the movie. I saw it twice. I loved it both times. I thought it was a fun movie. I can't wait to watch it again, to just basically pay attention to the background and to the little things that I may have missed the first 2 times around, to see the other little Easter eggs in there. It's a fun movie. I think you'll enjoy it, and I definitely think that it is definitely the exception to the rule of video game movies being bad. What did you think of Warcraft, and do you think it's an exception to the rule of bad video game movies? Let me know in the comments and share the video so others can join in the conversation. If you want to support more of my content, check me out on Patreon, and also check out templeofgeek.com to see all of my videos and reviews of TV shows and movies. Follow me on all the internets and subscribe to my channel so we can geek out some more. Thanks for watching and have fun. So Captain America, Thor, Hulk.